Hey, what would you do if you witnessed an animal being abused? Let's talk about it and just stay watching also for some animal communication tonight.
Come on, all you doggies, won't you walk with me? I'm the puppet dog.
So, something happened this week in California a couple days ago where there was a man on the street walking a dog, and apparently the guy was kicking the dog and being extremely cruel to this animal, allegedly. However, there's camera footage, so it's not so much allegedly. Um, and we're going to talk about that tonight and what you would do. I want to know what you think. And, what do we do in these situations when we know about animals being abused? But I also want to just welcome everybody here tonight. Thank you for coming. Let me just see who's here in the chat. This is the Animal Intuitive Show, by the way, where we talk with animals. We do animal communication here. I'm a professional animal communicator. And also we do things like acupressure, massage, energy work, essential oils, and have interviews with experts in the fields of animal care and advocacy. I would love to see who's in my chat, but for some reason, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to take up time while I'm sitting here poking around the screen. It's not showing up. You guys know how it goes on here. So I'll just continue talking about this while I try to bring my chat up. So I'm going to show you this news item. And if you are here for any sort of animal communication, I will be available to do that after we just talk about this a little bit. I never know if people are going to want that, so I always like to have a topic to talk about. So I'm losing my news article. I'll just continue talking about this while I try to bring my chat up. So I'm going to show you. This is interesting. Hold on. I think that was playing YouTube on my YouTube show. Well, that's interesting. Okay. All right. I guess I'm on a bit of a delay here. So this actress was involved. This isn't like the most important part of the story, but she's getting all the, this is front page news, I guess, that this is some actress from some big shows who got involved in this situation. She was she was driving her car and she saw somebody really being cruel to a little dog. And so she actually got out of her car and started like running, chasing the guy. And then she called some guys who were working on the street and they started following and chasing, and they caught up with the person and started beating him. There's actually, I don't have that footage. I don't really want to play that. She's from, I guess, the Hunger Games, this woman. Malone is her last name. Megan Malone, I think. Is it Megan? But Jean Malone, sorry. So the group, not her, but the guys were apparently subduing the guy until the police arrived. And it was I guess they're saying that you can see the footage. They were striking him repeatedly with a pole. And this kind of went on even after the dog had been rescued. But they said it was a citizen's arrest. That's what they said. This is what the news station reported that they said. So the dog was taken to the hospital, to the vet. The dog was covered in filth and looked like it had not been taken care of for months. It's wonderful. This is what the people said. And okay, it does say actually it's unclear whether anyone was seen hitting the man. It's unclear whether anyone seen hitting the man had been arrested. So there's a little Maltipoo named Champ. He did survive. He's 6 years old. And he did go to the hospital. He has broken ribs, some scrapes, a broken hind leg. And so he has a mom. I don't really like the word owner, but they write that Champ has an owner, Kelly McKinney. Did an interview, or she spoke to the Post or what have you. And there she is. And so this was, look at the little cast on him. Oh, poor baby. She just trying to, I really do want to bring up my chat. Just one second. I don't like this that I can't see. There you are. Hi, Good Night Owl. There it is. It's always like tucked, but there's like all these windows and it's hard to find stuff. So hi, it's good to see you. And everybody else who's here. Thank you. So she said that this was her son. He had come to her home, I guess, and taken the dog about 2.5 weeks ago. No, she left the dog with actually her other son, who she went to pick up food donations. She works for a not-for-profit. And I guess this other son came along and wanted to take the dog, and those two sons weren't getting along. I don't know, but, you know, basically he got the son got the dog, and it's been a couple weeks. I guess the mother didn't know where the dog was. And, sorry, I'm getting all these, like, calls on my business line. She said, you know, she was very upset. She saw this on the news, and they said that they're, you know, it was a very excessive, according to the woman, beating of her son. That's how she feels. You can go watch the footage if you want. So there was a GoFundMe for the dog too, and this, you know, final quote from the actress is, "I'm sorry that it ended in a brawl, but the dog was going to die." Malone wrote, "No question." So I actually did a little investigating. I called hi Lynn, nice to see you. Hi Tammy. Hello everybody who's here tonight. I did a little call to the LA Police Department. To find out, just kind of get their take on it. And just want to mention, so there's this, they do have laws about this kind of thing. We actually just did a nice interview, great interview with the Animal Legal Defense Fund. I'm going to, you know, I'll put a way for you to link that below in the description and somewhere up there at the end. But different states have different laws about this thing. But California actually has a pretty serious one. California animal abuse and animal cruelty laws are there some of the strictest laws in the country. But when I called, I did get a hold of a nice officer who did speak to me, and I wanted to just get their take on it. Like, what do you think? Should this have been, you know, I use the word, I'm calling about this citizen's arrest that took place a few days ago. And he actually said that wasn't a citizen's arrest. And then he like stopped and then said, well, what are you referring to? And when I said what I was referring to, he, you know, clearly knew what I was talking about. So I'm just going to kind of give you my impression of what he was saying. And, you know, some of it's logical. I think that what his concern was and why he started to say that wasn't a citizen's arrest is because it got a little bit out of control. It sounds like, I don't know, from the sounds of it, it seems like things got a little nuts. It could maybe have gone too far as, you know, at least the perception of the police department and as far as what they did to this person. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be handled in some kind of court. I'm sure the guy's going to, I would imagine he's maybe going to have a lawsuit. I don't know, or I don't know. But the officer did tell me that this person is going to have his day in court. He was arrested for a felony of animal cruelty. But he did say the best thing, of course, is to call the police. You never know. If someone has a weapon, a knife, you know, a gun, you could get hurt. We do value the health and welfare of animals, though, and he assured me that, you know, this person was arrested and he'll be going to court. So they do have, you know, it's nice to know that we can actually go and look up on the Animal Legal Defense Fund's website which states have, you know, there's a ranking they have, U.S. State Animal Protection Rankings, and you can go look for this. This is the link I'll have. California is in that top tier. They're number 9 in the state. And this covers, you know, what this guy is going to be facing is that he, I have it over here. He is going to be dealing with Penal Code 597. And it includes, you cannot kill, injure, maim, neglect, use for work an animal is not fit to perform. This covers domesticated pets, companion animals, stray animals, wild animals, and farm animals. It's a wobbler law, so it could be considered a misdemeanor or a felony, but he said felony when I spoke to him, which is up to 3 years in state prison. So, it's neat to go look at your state. I mean, like my state right now where I am is New Jersey, and it's in the middle. It's a middle tier. We talked about this more on the other show, so I won't get into all that. But I want to know what you guys think. So, good night, Al. You've never witnessed an animal being abused. Okay. I haven't. I've seen things that I would consider abusive. I'm having trouble kind of drawing an exact memory. I have a precise memory of someone in a park here, a couple who had a dog with them, and they were being very forceful. They weren't hitting or kicking or anything, but they were yelling at this little dog that wasn't doing exactly what they wanted. And I said to the woman, there's other ways to train a dog. And I was kind of surprised because she was like, really? But in a, she wasn't being sarcastic. She was like, really? What? And I'm like, you're kind of seriously? You think the only way to train a dog is to scream and yell at them and yank their, leash or whatever and be, but apparently there's people who don't know that. So, I think it is best if you can call the police, obviously, as opposed to making your own citizen's arrest. That can get dangerous. But I certainly can see, too, if you thought the person was going to get away in a situation like that, you might want to get a hold of them before they took off and got too far where the police wouldn't even be able to find them. So, good night, Al. You've been in one or two iffy situations, but not outright abuse. What do you guys think? Do you think you would go that far and get involved? I mean, I definitely think, I don't know. It also depends where you are. I'm kind of in an area where that would be questionable. The other things I'm referring to were in the city in Manhattan when I used to work in the city. Things that just people being rough with them, and it's definitely, there it gets a little bit more questionable, how involved you're going to get, because you really don't know what the people are carrying, and you never know. But so yeah, some people don't deserve to care for fur babies. I agree with you. And Tammy, you're saying I would totally be right there. If it is abuse, I couldn't handle it. Yeah. I think if it was outright physically harming them, and you knew that if you didn't do something, the animal's gonna that they were gonna get away and have the animal with them, it would be very difficult not to intervene. Yeah, it's very sad in any case to see something like that. And this dog is really broken. I mean, he's got a broken leg, he's got broken ribs. I mean, geez, hi, Mel Mac. Good to see you. So I did actually, since this is the Animal Intuitive Show, decided to do a little animal communication on this. So I talked to my dog, Kane, about it, and my dog. Actually, I talked to 3 of my pets. I talked to my dog, Kane, my dog, Cheyenne, and my cat, Gia, who you just probably saw there jumping around. And, Kane actually, just to mention if you don't know this, that Kane has been abused, neglected. I shouldn't say abused. Well, I don't have any evidence that anything else happened, but through communication, I know that he wasn't treated great, but he was definitely, what I would consider a neglect situation. And I asked his opinion and my dog Cheyenne and my cat's opinions. So Tammy, I will address that in just a second. Thank you for you mentioning that you wanted me to talk to your cat, or your lady. I don't know if it's a cat, but so it's interesting because their perspective on things is that it's not like they have this aggressive, like wanting to retaliate. Actually, I did get this impression of something should happen to the person. Like they want the person to stop doing what they're doing to harm another animal, but they don't carry sometimes, like we think about this stuff and we get angry. We want we're almost like retaliation, anger. That isn't where the animals come from. It's just not, but it is wanting it to stop. So it just kind of speaks to how innocent and pure their souls are, because it doesn't get into like an ego thing of like, well, I'm angry and I want to see vengeance, or, I think it should be like this and this should happen to the person. That's not what I got from any of my pets that I spoke to about this. So I just thought I wanted to throw that in. I thought it was, interesting perspective to get their perspective. But, definitely let us know what you think about this in the comments. So it looks like there is someone here who wants to have me talk to your puppy. I don't know if this is a dog or a cat, actually, Tammy. But let me know. I can drop you a link. If you have a picture or you want to hold your camera up to your animal, I don't know. I'll put that link and see what you're going to do there. Let me just grab that. Get rid of this. Dog, okay. And are you going to put your camera on your dog? I know, they're so pure, right? They're so innocent. That's why we love them so much. Link. Okay, so I always like to mention that when I'm doing this, I will sometimes do some editing afterwards, but I have to wait for the download so to complete with YouTube, and that can take a long time, actually. Sometimes it takes like 24 hours, sometimes even more. Okay. The thing is, you can't actually, I don't know why I just said a picture at this point, because there's no way to upload a picture. Is there any way to click the link and put your camera on your animal, or we don't actually, you could email it to me too. There we go. Okay. There we go. You're here. I don't see anything, so I don't know if you're holding your camera up to your dog. But I ask people to be nice and just fast forward. So don't leave the show just because there's some silence while we're waiting to get things set up. I have not figured out a better way to do this unless people contact me ahead of time and I can have things set up, but not everyone does that. So, and that being said, please like, share, helps the show a lot. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's all we have to keep the show going. And so yeah, just fast forward if you're waiting. Big interest of mine is figuring out how to prevent this kind of cruelty. I do see black. So if at this point we can't get the picture up, you could just type your question. I will say, backing it up, all the stuff I talked about before, that's copyright. It's protected from any kind of, because it's educational, and this is also educational. So I just let people know it's educational, entertainment purposes. You don't want to depend on me as an animal communicator for any kind of veterinary care, diagnosis, treatment. Make sure your animal is seen by a veterinarian. I am just giving you the animal's perspective on things. If this is about a health issue in particular. Channel memberships. I've thought about that. I have thought about that. It's, for the size of this channel, I actually asked a marketing person about that who I follow, and they were like, you really want to have a larger channel because there's a lot that does go into memberships because you're doing extra content. And it's a lot for me just to do all this by myself. I do everything myself. I don't have anybody helping me with editing or production or advertising or marketing. My website I do myself. I mean, I really do everything myself. Occasionally I'll hire someone for something that I can't do. But to do extra content on a channel this size, if the channel grows, that's one thing. But unfortunately, this is a slow growing channel. That's why we really need your help with likes and shares, and we can even clip parts of shows now and share them with people. There's a little scissor thing you can cut and share it on social media. That would help. I'd like to do memberships. I'd like to do these as a membership and then post them later, honestly. And I've thought about that as that could be a possibility. I really wanted this channel to be educational and not have to charge for stuff, but and have an opportunity for people who can't afford an animal communication session privately to come. So then that kind of conflicts with doing a membership because then people are paying for it. Although if it's a very small amount, then maybe I would do it like that. So it's something I'm thinking about. I haven't, if anyone out there thinks of a way to do it, I've never been a member of anyone's channel actually. So I don't know what to expect from a membership completely. But I don't know how much more I could do content-wise. So if anybody has ideas, though, things you would want as a member, then I would definitely take those suggestions. Please let me know. So, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will keep that in mind. Thank you for offering that. Okay, so what is her name? I know it's exposure. It's tough. This is a niche market, actually, this whole animal communication thing. If you look up animal communicators on here, just to give you a quick history, there's only one person who was putting out consistent content, but it was monthly before I started doing this show. And it wasn't, I don't even know if it was before, because I actually started this in 2019. I just wasn't as consistent until the past 2 years, really. But what happened was something in the algorithm. You go look for an animal communication person on here, you Google it, you will probably see content from 8 years ago. And I'm not kidding you. It's bizarre. It's because there wasn't much, I think. And so it got stuck in some kind of algorithmic nightmare where YouTube just sends people to these things from 8 years ago. Not always the best quality either. And it's a one-shot thing. Somebody put a one-shot thing out. They got interviewed for, a documentary, they call it. You can call anything that. And they put it out there and they got 10 million views, and then YouTube just goes to that. And so I'm trying to fight that system, and it's really tough. I think I might be the only person doing weekly, but I'm not sure at this point. Some other people might have jumped on this, but it's rough. It's really difficult with this. It's a niche thing. I know you guys who do true crime like me like to watch it. You can start a show and the next week you've got 2 million viewers. It's quality doesn't even matter. It's incredible. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who is here, and I really do. I appreciate those. I can say that the issue with getting people on this channel and to view it and become subscribers makes me appreciate the people who are here more, though, because I don't have a million different people, and I'm really grateful that you're here. I'm grateful Dave brought you guys here too. Thank you. All right, I'm a distractible person, so I'm going to go back to Tammy, who wants me to talk with her Shih Tzu. So, and her name is, I didn't get a name. And if you're able to, you can email me at Intuitive Touch, and with an E at Intuitive Touch, animalcare.com with this picture. I always like to add those afterwards. Tammy. But I don't have a name, so lady. Okay, that's what you said before. I'm sorry. Okay, so as I said, fast forward because I'm probably going to need a second to just ground here. Oh, don't cry. I get distracted myself. Don't worry, Lynn. Okay, so little lady. So I'm gonna go in and ask her perspective. Let me know if you have specific questions, though. I know you just said how's she feeling, so. I go right here. I get like I do feel like her weakness right now. She is just presenting to me like kind of, weakly here. And I get her tiredness. So usually, I'm going to ask her, like, I'm going to guess that you are, you have her in some kind of care. So I'm just going to ask her, does she feel like it's helping whatever you're doing? Would that be a question you'd want to know, I guess? Okay, so something that comes through is they look like drops or some kind of liquid. She goes, I like that. There's a feeling of her being like on kind of a cusp, like she's right there where like she could get a leg up, I'm feeling like, but it's sort of like waiting to see how she's going to go with things. Let me know if you have specific things you want me to ask her. Because right now I'm getting kind of an overall impression of feeling, that weak feeling, that something you're doing with something in the mouth drops, liquid, are feeling good. And feeling like, she's kind of like not out of the woods, but something's helping. Okay, so you want to know, does she feel like she has a good quality of life right now? Okay. I get this word like status quo, and I see her going on a walk outside or just being outside in nature. And it feels to me very much like if she can get nature, if she can make contact with the earth and I'm getting like if she can intake green, like greenery, like have trees around her, it feels like that to her means a quality of life. That's what is important to her. So I guess I would take that to mean like if for some reason there's no way for you to get her outside and take that in, that's when it would be beginning to be questionable for her as far as quality of life. Does that, you're saying yes, she traps herself a lot? Is that a misspelling? She traps herself a lot? I'm not understanding that. Trips? Maybe? I do give her different drops. Oh, okay. Good. So I feel like those are supportive for her. So that's good. Good. I don't know if you had any other questions about that, and I'm not sure what that means. She trips herself a lot. Maybe that's what you meant. Let's just see if there's anything. Sometimes they just have other stuff they want to say, and I can check in and see. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I get like I'm hearing like she's a nature girl. That's really important to her. I also see her in this like I almost want to call it like a baby blanket, like a thin blanket, lying on that. I'm seeing why she's showing me that, or if she's just showing me herself. Okay, so she's just saying that she feels like she does get rest, and it feels good. That it feels like she knows that you're taking care of her, and she can feel the comfort that you're giving her, that you're taking care of her. So she goes behind anything she can and can't back out and scream. Oh, but does it intentionally like a toilet. Okay. Like she uses it as a bathroom. Like she's going behind stuff to use it as a bathroom, maybe? Like she goes behind like the toilet. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. You're in New Mexico, lots of trees, no grass in yard. Oh, okay. Trees are good though. Let me ask her about that backing into things and not getting out. One thing I'm seeing through her eyes is difficulty with sight, like her eyes aren't as good. And that has something to do with this whole issue with getting like stuck. As though she goes in to kind of be secure, to feel secure, but then there's something about going from dark to light. Like those areas are dimmer, and then when she has to get out of them, it's partly like physical, like a maneuvering thing, but it's also confusing for her to go from dark to light. Look at her eyes adjusting. It confuses her more. Yeah, I don't think I did ask you that. She's 11, just so everyone knows who's watching. She just mentioned that. Um, anything else about that I didn't touch on? Anything you want me to go back to or expand on, or additional, anything that would be helpful that you'd like to know? She's very sweet. I get this feeling that to get your attention, you've really been through a lot. Keeping up with this as she's gotten older. So I'm sorry. I really get that feeling. I've been there where you're constantly like monitoring, and that's hard. It really is. It's a difficult thing. But she'll show you, they do show us what, as things proceed, what they really need, and how much longer they want to proceed, how much longer they want to go on. Okay, well, I don't see, did anybody else have anyone they wanted me to speak to? I don't see anyone requesting that in the chat, but yeah, GSDs are great. German Shepherds. I'm curious too, because I do want to do, I'm kind of looking around for somebody to interview. I've contacted a couple people. I'm in the kind of discussion about I come from I'm a clinical social worker. I used to work with trauma, and I don't know if you can say abuse on here anymore. I know you can't say certain types of abuse, but on YouTube. Okay, no, sorry, I'm distracted. I just wanted to read what Tammy's saying. So her eyes are not great. Okay, she has Cushing's disease. Oh, okay. Oh, she was dumped in the desert. Oh, and your son and your husband rescued her. I'm wondering how much everyone is interested in the topic of preventing harm to animals, preventing people who become, quote unquote, the diagnoses aren't really diagnoses, but they're not technically DSM diagnoses, but diagnostic and statistical manual diagnoses, but psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissism is in there, of course, but preventing these things in some way, shape, or form, because as animal lovers, we know that a lot of times animals are the ones who take on a lot of that, as when people are young, when they have these issues. That's a big concern of mine, and it's something that I'm very much interested in how to create empathy in children, how to, prevent them from going on to harm animals. And it's something that I'd like to talk more about on this show. So I'm curious what people think, if it's something that they're interested in, and would like to see more of that here. Or if you're more interested in kind of just the animal communication and learning about holistic pet care and things like that. Let me know, whether it's the chat or the comments if you're watching the replay or whatever. So Tammy's asking, does she think she can go under anesthesia again? Okay, she needs the other half of her mastectomy done, but we didn't do it. Oh, okay, that's why I was getting drawn here, probably. Okay. I mean, it's a little different on a dog, but but we didn't do it. She has had 2 spells of some type of seizure. Okay. And I see your comment, Mel. Okay, so you're interested in that topic. Okay, thank you. You would be interested too. Good night, owl. Okay, thank you for the feedback. All right, so I'm just going to tune into her and see what she says about that. I'm asking her how much it bothers her. When I ask about pain, I actually get like pain level like 4. It doesn't, that's my automatic. That's my impression from her. So once again, not a vet. Talk to your vet. But, and as far as having this taken care of and having to be under anesthesia, let me just feel her like energy and what that would be like for her. It feels like she could. Actually, I thought I was going to get, to be honest with you, no, based on the feeling I was getting before from her, like there's the weaker feeling, but she says that she feels like she could do it. The sense for me, though, is that there's something, wait 1 second, something I need to do. There's something, is this, you said you're giving her drops. I don't know if that's holistic, but I'm getting that you could be doing like something with building her up a little bit more holistically. There's something that would prepare her better to add to the mix. I would just look into that. Like if you're not doing anything holistically prior to doing something like surgery, maybe checking in with a holistic provider and seeing if you could build her up a little bit more. There's just something like, I feel like there's something that could be there, put in place, that could get her ready or prepare her a little bit more. That would behoove you to do that. And if you are already doing, if you already have a holistic vet, having, just going to them and saying, like, is there a way we could prepare her a little bit more? It might even help if you're not doing something like, doing acupuncture, just to build her up. I just get this little bit, like, I want to build her up a little bit more, like, get her over a little bit higher. On that scale of like strength. So if that makes sense. So but keep an eye on her, see if anything changes with that as you get closer. Maybe if you're thinking about doing surgery in a couple months or something, or see if anything shifts. But that's today what I'm feeling from her. She's going so she's going to a neurologist this month. Okay, so you'll get more information from that, of course. That'll help inform your decision. Yeah, CBDs are so great. They help with so many things. Especially, I've had it work for my cat with arthritis, my dog who's got, like I mentioned, he's got an injury that's just kind of chronic from the neglecting, the surgery he had to have, and not to mention definitely helps with anxiety and thunderstorms and things like that for sure. So it feels like that could be helpful for her, though. Yeah. My gut, my feeling is CBD could be good if it's not something you're doing yet. I have one in the... If people aren't sure what to use, I do have one I like in the description link down below. Yeah, definitely, just for anxiety. So I'm glad to hear your feedback. Thank you. Because I think that's just an important, like, if you're aware of anything going on, like all these people, I know I don't want to go too off I don't even know if it matters with this show because it is such most of the people probably that are here consistently do watch like some true crime stuff, but just looking at people in the news and then you hear about their background, and that's what I found too when I worked with people who kids that were getting into trouble often had animal abuse going on, and but you just you hear these backgrounds. They as children did these things to animals, and even as adults they're doing things to animals to harm them, and we just need to do something about it. And it can help others. It helps society and humans ultimately, but that's one of the earliest signs that there's going to be trouble ahead. So I have CBD, but kind of iffy on it. I heard if you put it on your finger, let them lick it. Yeah, my dog does that. Give her zeolite, life, gold, milk thistle, nice, colloidal silver, nice little mixture. Okay, so you're doing some stuff there. Some good things. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I do. I have the one in the description. I use a brand called Hemp Lucid, and I have a link. It is an affiliate link, and it just I always need to say that because I do benefit from telling people about it. If you go through my link, I get a small whatever for it, but I like them because there's a million CBD oils out there. I'm sure there's other ones that are good, on the same way. But this one I found several years ago when I started looking into them, and they really have made sure that they are truly organic, truly non-GMO, truly, well, in this country, I know that there's always is it really non-GMO? Because there might be stuff blowing in the wind or whatever, but they really do their work to make sure that these products are pure. And they have a nice variety of, they have chicken, they have fish, they have liquid, they now have chews too, like little treats, so that's nice. You have the option, and they have different milligrams, so you could get like a smaller one like the 350, or you can get like a higher one, and so they have a nice variety. But yeah, narcissism is a big problem in this world that we live in. Yeah, self, me, everything. Yeah. I agree with you, which is why, animals are so wonderful, because they just don't have those egos. So, well, it's a pleasure actually to talk with like-minded people here and come together and talk about some of this stuff. And, let me know if you didn't during this in the comments. Let me know what you think. What would you do if you witnessed something happening to an animal? And if you would like to see more in here about these kind of psychological things, and I'd be happy to talk about that. So I appreciate everyone being here, and I guess that's kind of it for the night, and I hope things go well. Let us know how things go with Lady. Thank you everybody for being here. And, be safe and have a wonderful night and weekend. Thank you. God bless.